Hey my souls, I'm Anya Esma and today I want to talk to you about my Patreon. I'm going to cover why I made a Patreon, what the tiers are and what you can expect, and I will talk about future plans with my YouTube channel. So first and foremost, why did I create a Patreon? It is about supporting this channel. If you know my YouTube channel, you know that I create content about witchcraft, content about finding a way to live a conscious, intentional, magical life. I upload book reviews and tarot deck reviews and do tarot deep dives. So as someone who lives a magical and spiritually inspired life, I want to share my path with you and also pass along resources that will help you tune into your own magical life, because it is a constant process, and that is what I want to use this platform for. I'm not perfect. I figure this stuff out myself, and I want to share what has helped me. So first and foremost, my Patreon supports this YouTube channel, but of course, I also want to offer some rewards, because creating resources and creating journaling prompts, tarot spreads, is one of my passions. Reading tarot for other people as well. Of course, I have a theme for my Patreon, which is fire, but that doesn't mean that all of the resources I offer to you as my patrons will be impulsive and intense and destructive and creative, you know, as fire is. But I also create gentle resources because I do include working with archetypes, doing shadow work, and all of this is more of a gentle process a lot of the time. So don't expect all of my resources to be really hard-hitting, fire-centric. But of course, in the end, they are meant to empower you and meant to inspire you on your magical path. Fire is kind of the basis for all of that, because empowerment and action and finding your path are all very fiery actions, to me at least. So it brings me very, very great joy, and I really mean this, to create resources for you. And that is why I have made up these tiers that I am about to present to you. It is in dollars because Patreon only offers dollar rewards, and even though I'm from Europe and I don't operate with dollars, that's what we're working with. So let's talk about the first tier. The first tier is the Soul Spark for $1. You get access to all of my exclusive Patreon posts, which includes polls for what videos I might make next, anything I want to share that is a little bit more private or closer to my heart, and also just general witchcraft, blah blah, magical things, anything I feel like sharing, I will share on Patreon, and you will have full access to those basic posts if you subscribe to the $1 tier. The second tier is called Ember Soul, and it costs $3 a month. It includes the previous rewards. You get access to the posts just as in the $1 tier, but I also credit you in my videos, in the credits, as well as in the description boxes. So at the end of this video, you will also see the names of my first patrons. Of course, you choose what name you want to appear as, what handle you want to appear as. Now, the $5 tier is called Flame Soul, and this is where the resources really start, because on a monthly basis, you get journaling prompts from me that help you tune into the season, as well as explore your psyche, explore your spirituality. If you want samples of journaling prompts that I've offered in the past, feel free to message me. You can always email me. I will put it down below into the description box. And you can also message me on Instagram. That works really well for me because I see it, I check it. I'm very engaged in the Instagram community. So feel free to message me there or email me if you have any questions or if you need a sample before you decide to join the Flame Soul tier. Of course, you also get all of the previous rewards, your name in the credits, etc. The $7 tier is called Flare Soul. Here you get another resource, which is a general reading or a pick a card reading. Once a month, I upload a video that kind of encompasses what my experience of the community calls me to. If I notice that everybody is kind of going through a rough time, or everybody is really fired up and creative, depending on that, I will create a resource. I will create a general reading on how we can harness or turn around these energies that surround us. This can be a pick a card reading or just a general reading that you can listen to, you can relax to, you can pull cards alongside me and just explore with me basically what the next month has to offer and how we can grow, find stability, find inspiration. And of course, you can also exchange your opinions, your thoughts with other patrons. I really want this to be a space of safety and a space of empowerment and action, where we support each other and give pointers to each other in order to live that magical, conscious life that we probably all strive for, a fulfilled life at the very least. Of course, this also includes all of the previous rewards. So for $7, you get the general reading, you get the journaling prompts, your name in the credits, and access to all of the posts. Now, this is a little bit of a jump. We are at the $20 tier called Bel Soul. This is the tier in which I do a personal reading on a monthly basis for you. I pull 3 cards, I make a recorded video like any tarot reading that you would purchase online, basically. And I give you some pointers, some inspiration, some advice on a specific question or multiple questions that you ask me. So once a month, you can tell me what's going on with you, tell me what questions you may have, and I will pull 3 cards and put together a video for you so that you can experience inspiration as to what is the right direction for you and which paths are even open to you. Of course, you can look at my style of tarot reading, my other YouTube videos in which I talk about tarot. I have a very psychological approach to it, but also a spiritual approach. So it's kind of a mix between psyche diving and giving you inspiration on what paths you could take in order to grow and in order to find what the best next step for your current situation is, in order to tune in to what is best for you. The last tier we have is Inferno Soul at $50 a month. There's 2 things involved in this. One, you get snail mail, which means physical mail from me every month with a physical tarot card. Yes, it's a real tarot card from a real deck that I will send to you along with a private message, some information on how to engage with the card, how to work with the energies of the card, and inspire your life basically further. And you get all of the previous rewards. So you get the private reading that is the $20 tier, you get the journaling prompts that is the $5 tier, and you get the general reading that is the $7 tier. So you have all of this combined plus physical mail every month from me. So understandably, if you are on the fence about joining my Patreon, feel free to send me any questions you have. You can also ask questions down in the comments under this video. I will answer them. I will give you insight into what you can expect. And I really do believe that my strength lies in creating helpful resources for people who are trying to live an intentional and intuitive life that is guided not just by spirituality, but also by our own psyche and what growth is natural and organic and right for us and our paths, because we all have different paths and different purposes in this life. And exploring this can go a long way to making us feel fulfilled. And that is exactly what I want to accomplish with this Patreon and also with this channel. So feel free to contact me. I'm there for you. Now, lastly, I want to talk about my plans for this YouTube channel. As I mentioned before, the theme that we're kind of going for is witchy, as you can tell. I talk about video games sometimes, I do book reviews, I upload journaling prompts for every Sabbat, and I also do spellcraft videos. I'm doing a tattoo magic video very soon. And it's basically all about living a magical, connected life by talking about tarot and going very deep with some decks, and by talking about books and creating self-help, self-discovery videos. I want to not only authentically share my path, but hopefully also inspire yours and connect us on a very deep level. And this is something that I also want to thank you for, whether you financially support me or not. Either way, I am incredibly grateful that you are here in this space. Especially if you watched this far, you are very, very important. You are an integral part of this channel. I love reading your comments. I love conversing with you and getting your input on these subjects. And this authentic communication is something that I deeply need and want and appreciate about this YouTube space and about the space on Instagram that is so community driven and so beautiful. So yeah, basically I want to create visually and mentally inspiring content that helps you tune in, be your best self, your highest self, as some people would say if you're into that lingo, and live a magical life with me, along with me, at least on your phone screen or your TV screen or your laptop screen. Anyways, I'm kind of losing my mind right now. So yeah, this platform is very important to me. And if you support my Patreon, it means a lot. I thank you in advance. Oh yes, I forgot to mention, you have immediate access to the resources. So if you support me on Patreon now, you will already get access to resources that I have created already, of course, up to the tier that you subscribe to. And I also want to do more collaborations on this YouTube channel. If there's anyone you would want me to collab with, let me know. I of course have a list myself already. I just have to really get into it and ask the people and converse with the people about collaborations, and then we'll get that going so that I can give you more perspectives on the witchcraft community and show how diverse it is. So yeah, that's basically it. I really appreciate that you're here. If you want to dwell in my domain longer, feel free to subscribe, of course, even though if you've watched this far, I assume you are subscribed. So thank you. And I wish you the greatest of days, the greatest of weeks, and I'll see you next time.